It's Tuesday, the 15th of November, 2022. Welcome to the Fast Five by Fear and Greed, Australia's most popular business podcast, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Adam Lang.
Good morning, Michael.
Adam, 5 big stories to get through in 5 minutes. Let's jump into it. Story number 1, some good news. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is going to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping in the first talks between a Prime Minister and the President in 6 years. Prime Minister Albanese confirmed the meeting as he stepped off the plane for the G20 in Bali late yesterday. He said that the talks have no preconditions and he's looking forward to having a constructive dialogue. Now, this is a big step, and it feels like we've been building to it for some time, in particular, though, over the last few days.
That's right, Michael. China previously declared it's ready to meet Australia halfway as it seeks to reset relations between the two countries. The news of the breakthrough in Australian-China relations came as Treasurer Jim Chalmers yesterday called for a more stable relationship between China and Australia, but he did note that a restoration of the relationship would require China to lift some of its trade sanctions against Australia. It's our largest trading partner, accounting for nearly a third of our international trade, but that trade has been in decline as China tightens restrictions on Australia's exports like meat, coal, wine, barley, amid security and diplomatic tensions.
All right, on to story number 2, and we've talked a lot about the collapse of cryptocurrency exchange FTX and the fact that it has just inserted more volatility into the crypto market, including the price of Bitcoin. Now, high-profile Australian investor Mark Carnegie has been caught up in the whole saga. Now, Mr. Carnegie has long been a bull on cryptocurrencies. He runs a cryptocurrency investment fund out of Singapore and apparently loves the digital token so much that he bought the naming rights to a new species of fly from the Australian Museum, named it after Bitcoin. Anyway, he said that he had managed to withdraw his clients' investments from FTX before it collapsed, but he was not fast enough with his personal cryptocurrency assets.
That's right, Michael. Carnegie said he lost about $150,000, saying he was absolutely shocked at the collapse of FTX. It has also emerged that the venture capital arm of Telstra Ventures, put money from its $350 million third investment fund into FTX. Telstra wouldn't comment, but you'd have to imagine that investment is now worth close to nothing. In other news about the collapse, Reuters is also reporting that the weekend hack may have seen US $1 billion stolen from FTX. There are reports that CEO Sam Bankman-Fried secretly transferred US $10 billion of customer funds from FTX to prop up another company he owned via an accounting backdoor that meant customers and auditors were never alerted the money was missing. Bankman-Fried has denied this.
Now, Adam, story number 3, if it feels like it's getting even more expensive to fill up the car, it is because it is getting more expensive to fill up the car. Fuel prices have hit a 17-week high with national averages of $1.99 a litre for petrol. This is according to the Australian Institute of Petroleum.
Michael, I know it feels like prices have been high forever, but occasionally they've taken a drop. But it really depends on where you are in the country. In Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane, average fuel prices are above $2 a litre. But at the same time, Melbourne and Perth are in the discounting phase of the fuel cycle, which means they might drop a bit before rising sharply again.
On to story number 4 now. You might be familiar with the Japanese tech investment group SoftBank because it's as famous for making billions as an early backer of China's Alibaba as it is for losing billions funding WeWork. Now, the investment group was founded by high-profile Japanese billionaire Masayoshi Son. It is now posted a US $7.2 billion September quarter loss for its flagship Vision Fund amid sliding tech stock valuations. SoftBank has a portfolio with more than 400 investments in public and private tech companies around the world.
That's right, Michael, but it has been rapidly offloading investments in 2022, and those sales helped the parent company post a profit of US $21 billion despite the Vision Fund's losses. In fact, Masayoshi Son is probably most well known for losing more money than anyone in history, dropping US $70 billion in personal wealth in one day in the 2001 tech wreck. The Vision Fund's US $7 billion loss this quarter comes after a US $17 billion loss last quarter.
Ouch. Story number 5, Adam. The global population tipped to reach a major new milestone sometime today, 8 billion people. Now, estimating populations, I imagine, is a fairly kind of inexact science, but United Nations modelling suggests that we will hit the 8 billion mark today. Just to give you an idea of how quickly the population is growing, we reached 2 billion in 1925, took another 35 years to get to 3 billion, but since then we've added another billion people every 10 to 15 years.
Current projections show the population is expected to peak in the 2080s at about 10.4 billion, plateau for a bit, then start to fall. And that comes with its own sets of challenges. As society ages and shrinks, there are fewer people of working and tax-paying age to help pay the bills. We're already seeing it happen in countries like Japan.
Indeed. There we go. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Tuesday, the 15th of November, 2022. Remember to hit follow on the podcast, and if 5 minutes isn't enough for you, you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.